British authorities have foiled a massive high-tech bank heist attempt. The scheme reportedly depended on what is known as a keylogger. This is a type of spyware. The heist would have reportedly £220 million from the London offices of a Japanese bank. British cyber cops began investigating last year after the bank discovered that hackers had infiltrated its network and were using a keylogger to capture critical information. In our studio this morning is Claudiu Popa, President and Principal Risk Advisor for Informatica. I've never heard of this thing before. Should I know what it is?
You should.
Am I at peril from this thing?
In a way, yes, you are.
Keylogger? What's keylogger?
A keylogger is simply a piece of software that hides on your computer, gets installed surreptitiously, and from that moment on, it steals your keystrokes and sends them to a command and control server, often in a different country, to basically amalgamate huge amounts of personal information about individuals.
And can they sift through this and find me logging on to my bank account or going to my accountant or any of that?
That's right. That's exactly what it's used for. It's used to steal credentials that you use to log into your banking systems, into your trading accounts, into your personal email, into a variety of things where you have to use your personal username and password to access.
Can they get into the bank system?
They can. It's a lot harder to get into the banking systems, but it's a lot easier to get into people's computers.
Right. I have less security than my bank has.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's why your bank always makes it clear that you're responsible for securing your own computer, but they are responsible for their own part of the equation.
Okay, this news item was a big deal, a big bank, but for people around the world, how many people are affected by this?
Oh, millions. So these are parts of botnets.
Are these millions of people that are losing money?
The people that are losing money are actually, in this particular case, they're high rollers, and that's why this particular operation is called Operation High Roller. The organized crime element is getting really smart about this. They're basically saying it takes as much effort to steal the credentials of someone who has a low bank balance as it takes to steal the credentials of might as well get the rich guys. And so we're talking about potentially billions in losses from hundreds, if not thousands, of high net worth individuals.
Okay, is it easy to defend yourself against this?
No, it's not. And that's because we don't really have visibility into the threat, and most people don't understand what malware means and what keyloggers are, as you pointed out.
Okay, I'm sure the vast majority of people use a reputable security, whether it's a Norton or a McAfee or what have you. Not good enough?
Not good enough. The fact is that these depend not just on zero-day exploits, which means as soon as the vulnerability is discovered, they put out a virus or a piece of malicious software to infect your computer so that your antivirus does not yet know about it. So your computers may get infected that same day before your antivirus finds out and creates a signature file. As you know, these need to be updated every day practically, if not every hour. But in addition to that, you really don't know the injection vector, and so whether you're on the web and you're surfing websites that are infected and they're pushing web inject code to your computer, and as soon as that code is executed by your browser or by your operating system, that piece of software burrows itself under the operating system, and from that point on, it steals
you are
your
scaring the
keystrokes.
heck out of me. Does this mean that none of us should be banking online?
None
of us should make any. Okay, well then how do we protect ourselves?
We just need to be aware of the websites that we do visit. So there's a couple of really popular ways that the criminal element uses to infect your computer. One is spam. So email spam, where you get a message that says click on this or access this link. Do not access links, obviously. And most people are aware enough and vigilant enough that they know spam from legitimate email. But it's worth repeating. And the other vector is simply by surfing the web. And if you go off the beaten path, if you go to websites that, let's say, well, the easy kind are the ones that are marked by Google. In Google results, oftentimes you'll see this site is compromised or this site is for lack of a better term, spewing malware, Google will alert you to that, and it'll alert the site owners that their site has been compromised and is pushing virus-filled or malware software to all the visitors.
So sites that are pushing it are not necessarily the bad guys. They're being used by the bad guys.
That's right.
The bad guys don't have sites of their own.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about the internet. It really protects the criminal element, and especially the organized criminal element. And it doesn't afford them anonymity, but it affords them obscurity. And by layering their approach, they're able to expose a whole bunch of individuals called money mules in various countries that whose job is simply to move money from one country to the other. And that is all facilitated by this malware that we're talking about today.
Boy, we have to be careful all the time, huh?
Absolutely.
All right, good to see you again. Thanks very much.
Thank you.